because it's on TRVL. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to TRVL, but look, so we're already back above price action from the 8th of June. Yeah, so from all the way from the 8th of June to now, look, so anyone who bought since the 8th of June now till now, they're okay. You know, the position's okay. And there's quite impulsive behavior, price action here, isn't it? And so that's quite interesting. So I think it's quite bullish, isn't it? Looking at it now. Back in the value area. See that? That's a sign of strength. Just delete these lines. I wouldn't, I mean, I always want to see a back test, but with microcap altcoins, you just never know. All right. Yeah, no changes in the volume profile. This is the bull market volume. So the big resistance is going to be about the 4.8 cents. This is a sign of strength, getting back into the value area. So there's actually two value areas I'm looking at: the overall range, which is from the beginning of the token, and I'm also looking at this bull market value area, which is basically from the volume since October 23. And I'm looking at Bybit because that's where obviously most of the volume is. And what you see is that we've come back into the overall range value area here, and we're now coming back into also the bull market value area. So we're seeing strength in this move, in this kind of buy up, and all we needed to do in a higher time frame context in the future, I don't know when, as soon as possible really, because that would give people confidence to continue buying, would be a back test, wouldn't it? So I wouldn't mind seeing a back test and to see where people are actually interested to buy as the price retraces. Could this go? It could very well, because it's quite impulsive right now. It looks quite impulsive. It could go up to the point of control, and then we have to see what happens next, how it corrects, and if it does correct, because it'd be more bullish for volume to continue coming in and for, you know, to push up right through for a back test on the point of control. That would be much more bullish if we experience that. But then the point of control would have to flip from what it should really act as resistance. But if it doesn't, then you still want to test it for support. You just want to know that the price is respecting that level as a level which people can buy and sell. And so in this context, I want to see that if it was more bullish, and then it will give you confirmation that maybe this is actually looking to go further. Yeah, but you don't really want it to just go up in a straight line, because then the price will just do that probably. So it'd be nice to go up in waves, and proper waves, not straight line waves. But let's see. We have to see. If you want to go in a straight line, I don't mind, but take it to $1. That's the reality, isn't it? So I think a lot of people might be looking at this and thinking, gives people a little bit of confidence, no, to see two green days. I did say a few days ago, I said, I just want to see green. I just want to see green. And that's why you start seeing green candles. You start seeing buying, and then people start buying. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting to see where the market's starting to buy again. And naturally, in this little mini move, we've moved. Look how much we've moved. 26%. Let's see, bottom to top. Yeah, 32, 33, thereabouts, 32 from bottom to top. That's a lot, isn't it? When I was looking at the BTC chart, I did mention that it was a big buyer, big market buy, and then if there's more buying, it'll probably go up easily. And again, you've got to be, you see, we don't get back tests with small market caps. So the minute you see a little bit of strength, people just jump in. And see, this is compared to Bitcoin, and there's quite a big move there, huh? So compared to Bitcoin from, say, here, it's like 29-30% increase in value. I briefly spoke to Eric yesterday from Dtravel. Briefly, he's away in Mexico at the moment, and there's a lot of good things coming. And so this is, we kind of had a brief chat, but the phone conversation wasn't great. The line wasn't great, and so we didn't talk for long. This is Eric here. Eric, he's like head of business development, but he does a lot of the running the operations and stuff. You should follow him, huh? But he doesn't really post much, just Dtravel stuff. So we were having a chat, and then there's more stuff coming, huh? And I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of our conversation. I already knew, but he reconfirmed it yesterday. So while people are looking at this and they're going, wow, this is a big deal, you know, this is, and it really is a big deal. Yeah. So you don't have to be stupid to realize that this is a big deal. Anyone with common sense knows that this is a big deal. And especially if you have experience in crypto, if you have a little bit of experience in crypto, you'll know that compared to many projects out there, that this is extremely valuable, and it's very unique, and it also has a real world use case which is easily exploitable. You don't really have to be smart to see that. But what's interesting is that we thought this was a big deal, and it is this, but there's more coming. That's why I learned from the conversation. And honestly, that can only mean one thing when it comes to the value of TRVL, regardless of the wider market, because of the network. And so I told you the value grows with the network. And while you have the host network, which is this, is it? Yeah, which is this. Or the traveler network, which is going to be all the bookings that get processed, the reservations. Regardless of that, you've also got the crypto network. And with the partnerships that are coming, it's a big deal. Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's a really big deal. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Yeah, so a lot of people, and the clue, because I don't think I'm allowed to say, to be honest with you, but the clue, I can give clues. Obviously the first clue is that is this AI search, and you just got to do the math. Like there's going to be some big partnership announcements, and then the other thing is going to be the TRVL going cross-chain. So we're already cross-chain, so we're already on Binance, we're already on ETH and on Polygon on the layer 2, and so it's already been launched on another layer 2. It's already happened, but I'm not sure if you're meant to know. So that's coming very soon, that announcement, that kind of, so there's a lot of announcements coming, and I think we're going to have a nice continued positive impact. Ultimately, I want to see volume push this price right through these highs, and if you start seeing TRVL in the next week or two at 10, 11, 12 cents, people are going to be buying like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. Just because of what they'll be seeing, which is a gigantic inverse head and shoulders. Yeah. It's going to attract a lot of interest. And so if you consider that we're having a reaction here and we're having signs of strength into the lows of this value area, if you consider what you're seeing, you know, then we could be onto something really explosive. And trust me, when we go up, it will go up because it will gather a lot of interest, and also it will be quite liquid as well. And that's why you need volume, because you need the volume to be able to overcome the sun. So if we do break out, even though I've got a higher time frame target of 30 cents, why 30 cents? Because it's the yearly level. So I was taking that into consideration. I had it marked before that, the yearly level. The unspoken level. No one talks about it because you never really hit it. So I am thinking the yearly level will offer resistance on a higher time frame, but it also corresponds with a little bit of confluence, which is also why I'm interested in that level. Because of the fib retracement. So that one. So it's also the golden pocket as well. And also the other thing that comes to my mind, which is really fundamental, is that from here, from the current price to that yearly level, you're looking at like a 500% increase in value. I do wonder, is it 500? Did I do that right? Yeah. People will be looking to take profit, won't they? They're not just gonna not take profit. But the only thing that kind of makes me think something else is that if you do manage to get up to that area, you've broken out, haven't you? We've broken out of this kind of idea. Let's just say hypothetically it does that. Then you have to hold back some kind of back test, don't you? And so that's what I'd be thinking about if we did. So would the price just stop there on a breakout of a multi-year heading? That's what I'm wondering. So I am wondering if we do hit there, what volume is going to come in, because it will depend on how many people sell, whether there's enough buy volume to keep moving the price up. It'd be good to see how the price reacts if we do manage, because I think if we do get up there, we already have to clear some big levels. So it's going to require a lot of strength to get up there already. And so then in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, well, if it's going to require so much strength to get up there, maybe the price in a bullish situation, it would be a little bit more like this. It would be higher, and just, you know, like it will be, there won't be enough liquidity there and the price will go through, and then for a back test higher up. So in my mind, I'm thinking this inverse head and shoulders if that plays out. Otherwise, that is the right place for a big take profit, just simply because I think the price has increased a lot. But again, it goes to, like, it might be different, and so I am wondering. And then obviously you have to get past 9. You have to still get past all the same levels. 9, 5.5, 5.5, 9 cents. And then we've got untested levels like this 50%, which is 17.5. And obviously then you've got the big golden pocket. And so in this context, 17.5 is quite big resistance too. Because you have some kind of weekly level there as well. Anyway, we'll have to just keep seeing what's happening. Right now it's looking quite bullish. And again, it's the same thing, you know, with these, how do you buy these? Do you buy market? And keep pushing the price up. So a lot of people might be thinking, I want to buy. How do I buy? And you don't necessarily want to push the price up with market buying because it's quite illiquid. And that was the point that I've been making for many weeks. It becomes harder to buy in this situation because if you want a larger position, you have to push the price up. And so naturally, the way to buy is to put limit orders still, and absorb the selling and not to FOMO in. That's really the way to buy. Even though I want the price to go up, I also want the price to keep on going up and not to come back down. So right now, what the price would always tries to do is it tries to come back to find support, and you just have to look for red candles in the price action because those will be the areas where you're going to get orders. And if the price is starting to trend, you're looking for the pullbacks, and so naturally you have to look for confluence between fib levels and order blocks and maybe volume as well. But it's hard with impulse to buy. Like, it didn't really require that much volume to come up 33%. And it's interesting because people aren't selling now, and so I think the market might have turned for TRVL. I really do think it's possible, and we'll know in this context. We'll know if we start taking out this high. That would be a higher high on the daily level. Yeah. And so we've been in this downtrend since we took out this low. That was a lower low here to put in a lower high, and then we came down here to put in lower lows. That was the lower high here. And so in a sense, that's kind of what I was saying. I was saying that if we put a higher high here, it would be bullish. Okay. But you still have to go up to put a higher high there for continuation. So it's quite a large distance because of the way the price went up and then dropped. Here, it's now relatively easy to change daily market structure because we're almost there. We only need to get above 4.45 cents. That would be a high high on the daily time frame, and then you just have to put in a higher low and the higher high, and then you'd have a market structure change on a daily basis confirmed back to bullish. So potentially we could just put in our first higher high here potentially, and then we have to see if we can hold a higher low. So it looks quite good at the moment. So let's see if that happens, and then we'll just keep a track of it. I think if you do change market structure here, it doesn't really matter where it happens and it's confirmed, then you're going to get a lot more volume coming in because the structure is actually then bullish. It's like higher lows, higher highs. And that will give people confidence that we're no longer in a downtrend and we're back into an uptrend. And that's really what we want to do as soon as possible. We want to put in a higher high here, put in a higher low, and then take out the current high. All right, so if you're bullish and you want this price to go up, obviously the first thing that I was talking about was a higher low. This could be it, 100%. And confirmation would be bullish market structure change on the daily time frame. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Well, that could happen anytime in the future, anywhere really. But let's just take it step by step. I haven't been bearish on this, even though the price has been dropping. And so that gives people a lot of relief, doesn't it? I think a lot of people get worried because they're thinking, oh my God, this is never going to go up. The bull market's over. And then in 3 days, it goes up 33%. and it looks quite healthy, isn't it? Like, it's not like one buy, it's like lots of buying, lots of people are buying. All right, that's TRVL. Any questions?